So we're going to determine the measures of all the angles in standard position between negative 800 and 800 that are coterminal with 85 degrees. And we're going to sketch them all. So let's start with 85 degrees. What quadrant would that be in? Quadrant 1. Almost 90 degrees. It would look like this in quadrant 1. Let's do all the positive angles first. If I added 360 to that, being coterminal, it's going to end at the same place. But if I went to 85 and then added another 360, that angle would be 445 degrees. Can you see if I add 360 again, that I'm going to get to 805 degrees? So that 805 degrees would be coterminal, but this question is just asking us to list them between negative 800 and 800. So we don't have to list the next one. Now, if you subtracted 360 degrees, again, here is 85. If I went around the other direction, if I took 85 and subtracted 365, I'll get a negative angle, and that would be negative 275 degrees. And if I went the 275 degrees and then kept going another 360 degrees around, I'd get negative 635 degrees. So those are the ones between negative 800 and 800, part A. And here's what we talked about before about writing them all down for every single one that's coterminal with 85 degrees. So you start with the 85 degrees, then you can add 360 degrees as many times as you want. You'll notice in the answer key they often put the K out in front because they're having that degree sign at the end. But it wouldn't matter if you wrote 360 degrees times K or K times 360 degrees. That means the same thing. But you do have to indicate that K is an integer. And this is the most typical way to write the answer. Start with the one that you know, which is 85, and then add or subtract 360 as many times as you wanted. That doesn't mean that this is the only way that you could write your answer. You could start with any of the angles you wanted. I could start with negative 275 because that ends at the same place. And then add of course, most people would start with the 85 and then go from there. If you want to be mean to your teacher, find some obscure angle to start off with that ends in the same place. And then I'd have to check to make sure that you were right to begin with. But this would be most common. Okay, so the questions you can do in the homework that are similar to this one are 4 and 5.